Okay, class, 2 minutes is over. Ready or not? I will start calling participants randomly now. Okay, so to show us your convincing skills. So we have here. Okay, Sir Felix, can you give me a number from 1 to 10?
Okay, sure, ma'am. 5.
5. Okay, let's see here. Let's count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have here our lucky winner, Sir John Vincent Morinaga. Okay, yes, Sir John, please turn on your microphone and show us what you've got.
Do I speak it out loud or do I type it in?
Oh, yes, you have to speak. You have
Alright,
to
speak.
just, yeah.
Insert name here. That's just a placeholder. Insert name here. I want to admit that I have feelings for you, but but if I really want to talk about my feelings first, do you do you admit or confess that you love me back? Just imagine they said yes. Thank you. My love, I want to convey that you make me happy. Every day that I am sad or depressed or any of the sort that makes me feel down in the dumps, you reinvigorate me with such passion to live on in this life, to live, to see what other wonders in the world will I experience, and I would like to do it with you. I want to experience every emotion, every hardship with you so we can grow closer together. And I want to do everything with you. That's why I confess about that, mom.
Okay, thank you so much, Jan. So would you like to give everything you want and you will do everything you want for someone you love, right? Is that correct? Kaya ba nimo ihatag ang imuhang tinud-anay
Love,
nga
love in my opinion is, I think it's more of like a, well, not, I I was about to say contract, but no, it's not a contract. It's like something close to a contract, like some, like a bond, a bond that you, that both of you consent to,
Okay, thank you so much for that, Jan. I really
something like
appreciate.
that.
Yeah, so it would be someone na love talaga ni Sir Jan kay very lucky to have or to experience that kind of love from him. Okay, thank you so much, Jan. Okay, next. Sinong gusto mag-volunteer, Jan? Who would like to volunteer? You can raise your hand or you can chat in our chat box if you would like to say something or provide your input. Okay, but since to make this more interactive, I will be just calling randomly, so you just have to prepare. Let's hear from, bakit may nagalib man? Okay, let's hear from Franz. Franz, Mr. Franz Rebarbas. Hello, Franz. Please turn on your microphone. Hello, Franz.
Yeah, hello ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Franz. Hi. Can you
Hi,
convince
ma'am.
us with your words and how would you prove your love to someone? Okay, are you ready? Whenever you're ready, okay?
Medyo, ma'am, parang cringe man good, ma'am. Cringe kasi akong sarili, ma'am.
Okay lang man na, ma-cringe man jud ta when we love someone. Di ka relate mo na, cringe jud ang tao. Pero kiligon gyapon ang maminaw ana basta in love sa imuha. Sige, go.
Ah, Dibaan mo. Wait lang, ma'am.
Okay, just let me know if you're ready. Pwede ka din naming balikan. Gusto mong mag-pass muna? Or yes, we can look or we can call here another names. Or are
Ay,
you
ma'am,
ready?
balikan mo na lang ako, ma'am. Pinakalas ako, ma'am.
Oh, sige. Okay, but you don't have to worry, everyone. This is recorded and you will be graded 10 points for your participation today, okay? So, let's call another name here. Balikan lang muna natin si Sir Franz, okay? Let's hear
Yes,
from
ma'am.
girls naman, okay? So, let's hear from Cherise. Hi, Cherise. Cherise Kate Lara.
Ma'am, ka-cringe ayo.
Hello, how are you, Cherise? I miss you.
Ano ma'am, kanang Like saying words of affirmation po, ma'am.
Okay, as long as you convince us that, oh, I can really say that cherries really love me, mga ganyan, good na mga salita. So, you just have to prove how much you love me or how much you love that person. Okay? Okay, go.
Um, like, wait lang, magbuto dyan na. Ay, ma'am, mag-construct ako, ma'am. Ninya sala, ma'am, sa chat box.
Oh, sige, Linya Sara. Okay, sige, let's call Nina Angela. Okay, yes, Nina. Hi.
Hello po. Uh,
Hi.
okay. So how do I convince and prove to you my love? My love for you is so genuine that no single word in the English language can explain. My love for you is enough to make me feel confident smiling with cookies between my teeth. You make me feel at ease when I feel chaos. I'm not into physical touch, but I'll let you hug me. I hate people seeing me cry, but I'll let you wipe your tears away from my face. If that's not love, then I don't know what it is.
Okay, thank you so much, Nina. So no language can explain how much you love the person. Thank you so much, Nina. I really appreciate that. Okay, let's call on Mr. Franz. Are you ready, Mr. Franz? Hello, Mr.
Yeah,
Franz?
medyo.
Okay, medyo. Sige daw, pakiliga daw mi ana imuhang mga matatamis na mga salita. Sige, go, Mr. Franz. Okay, next for Mr. Franz is cherries. Okay, go, Franz.
Ma'am, murag dili man kaya, ma'am.
Okay lang,
Nakoy
Bisag
nakoy
Bisaya. Okay lang. Any
nakoy
language.
nakoy words sa akong isip, ma'am, pero dili na ako magawas ba ana gani, ma'am.
Oh, nga naman na. Speechless.
Amot lang murag gagahi kadugayan na gawson ako, ma'am, ba kay mogahi man akong ano, ma'am, dughan, ma'am.
uh, that's fine. Okay, you can prepare more. You have more time to prepare as well. Let's call on Cherries muna. Cherries, are you ready?
Hindi pa, ma'am.
Okay, let's call here someone randomly. How about Dustin? Dustin Blance.
Ano ako man.
Hi, Dustin. How are you?
Hello, ma'am. Okay lang, ma'am.
Hi. Yes. Can you show us or how can you convince us with your words?
Sige. Cringe yun, ma'am. I might die sooner or later from heart attack. It's because every time I see you, my heart aches. Um, um, my love for you is like stars in the skies. It is countless and ay, tama na ito, ma'am. Pwede katulaw, ma'am. Cringe na magod.
All right. Okay na magbisaya, guys. Ha? Thank you so much, Dustin. So, yes, job na grado. You will be graded 10 points for this if you will participate. Okay? And for Dustin, he said that he might die anytime because of so much love for you. Thank you so much for that, Dustin. Okay, so let's hear another one to Job. Job Gabriel. Yes, Job?
Hello, ma'am. Wait lang, ma'am. Wait lang, ma'am.
Yes.
Wait lang. Ano po, ma'am? I love you. I am lucky that I met you in this world, where millions of people roam and live this space. I'll do anything for you just to show my love for you, my genuine care for you. Even if we only met by chance, I will still love you like we're meant to be. Yun lang po, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Job. Really appreciate that. So even if you met someone that in by chance still love them and would do everything for her or him. Thank you. How about here? O si Miss, ano daw si Franz o pila na daw kababae mong naingnan ana. Okay. Charisse, are you ready, Charisse?
Ready na lang, ma'am.
Ready na lang. Okay. You don't have any choice. Okay, go. Okay, you can start.
I would cross the horizon to find you. I would swim the depths of sea to search you. And I promise you that every time I pray, you're always there po.
Okay. Thank you so much, Cherie. So, sabi niya, ano nga yung sabi mo? You would pray for them, right? because you really love him that much. Okay, ana pod si Job para kay crush ra na oy pamasking pamati kayo. Ay, pamati dai si crush. So, pwede nimo na siya kuanon, message nimo anytime. We have a lot of avenues to show us our love to someone. Okay, si Angeline, oh, nagkatawa. Angeline, pwede ka mag-participate? Ay daw, ay. Okay, let's go back
Wait
to,
lang. Ay,
yes?
ako, ma'am.
Yes, Angeline, are you
Cringe
still
man,
there?
ma'am. Oy, pero ma'am, I'll try. Char.
Sige, go.
Ako miingon, ma'am, sa example na tao kay, you're the reason of my smile every day, my love. You make me feel loved, appreciated, and respected. And in return, I promise to love you more and more. Cherish every single day with you, and I adore you more than ever before. I love you so much. Char, words of affirmation lang ang need.
Okay.
Walang to, ma'am. Oy.
All right. Thank you so much, Angeline. Sabi ni Angeline, you are the reason of my smile. So, thank you so much for that. Oh, nagkatawa si Angeline. Oh, yaks daw. Dili na yaks. Oy. Okay, let's go back to Mr. Franz. Are you ready, Franz?
Okay, ma'am.
Oh,
Kaya na lang para
sige, go.
sige, sige, ma'am. Ah, I will not convince you because no words can explain how I am truly in love with you. Higugmaon ti ka hangtod sa kamatayon. Wala to, ma'am.
Wow, really? Thank you so much for that, Franz. So, kaya ni mo higugmaon siya hantod sa imong kamatayon. Motoo ba mo ana, guys? If naay mo ingon sa inyo
Yes, ma'am.
ana, motoo mo ana?
Pwede
Ingon mo.
gani, ma'am. Tapad mi sa lungon, ma'am.
Wow.
So, pwede lang jud, ma'am.
But daw ingon ni Gilbert. All right. Thank you so much, Franz. We really love the person we can love them to death. So death. So that's how powerful your love is. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Ingon na si Angeline sample daw. Wow, we can't sample death. All right. Another one here. I wanna hear more from you guys. Let's call here from I want to hear from. Let me check here.
Justin
Okay.
daw, ma'am.
Justin. Yes, Justin Magaliano, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Justin. Go, Justin.
Um, how can I prove my love to you? I love you more than my anime action figures, even though they are 2D, but you are real. I love you so much that I feel like I'm flying. I love you so much. I feel like I'm not complete without you. That's all, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much, Justin. You would love her more than any anime figure that you have. So, kaya ni mo ipagpalit ang mga things that you love for someone, for her. Is that right? Okay. Thank you so much for that, Justin. I really appreciate that. Okay, we have here another mag-participate daw si Kirby. Yes, Kirby? Yes, hi.
Go,
Hello,
go,
ma'am.
curb.
I make it short lang, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
yes.
Long.
Long. Papa Kurt,
Long dapat.
I promise you that I'll give you all I can
Long
give,
sweet
and I'll never make you cry because I love you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kirby. Motoo ba mo anang ingnan mo na I will never make you cry, guys?
Oy,
No.
ma'am.
Diba? It depends sa situation if someone would really give you all he have and then probably na jud uban mga bitter o di jud mo to para kay kinsa daw na
Depende
Kirby.
pag pure ang intention sa tao.
Yes, that's right. Depende jud na kung pure jud
Dili,
ang
oy. Dili, jud, ma'am. Dili, ma'am. Kung pure pa
Unsay dili, depende oy
intention, ma'am.
pagbutbuton ang
Nagyapon
tao.
na ups and down, eh.
Depende
Nagyapon
kung
na ups
Angeline,
and
ma'am.
down. Dili man mo perfect.
Ayaw,
Perfect lang
lagi,
ang sa day
bot-bot,
ka.
lagi bay.
Bahala mo di ay.
Bituhan,
Hey, bitter
oy,
sa Angeline,
kapila na
bitter.
dahil na babae ng giingnan dra, Franz.
Sa uba, diya, Job.
Balik niyo
Isan ti karon.
ginaingon ba?
Ikaw,
Alright.
gusto kay gugmaon, ti ka?
Ala.
Pwede, pwede.
Ala. Alright. Thank you so much, everyone. So, gusto pang gusto mag-participate dara. Spread love, not hate, according to Kurt. Yes, kiss daw, ingon ni Job. Alright. Na-cringe na ang uban, guys. Kasi pa may, I really love to hear more from you guys. Let's call another one. Let me hear from girls naman. Okay. Let's hear from Micah. Micah? Micah Javier. Pass. Pass daw si Micah. Okay. Another one here. Let's call Lorraine. Lorraine. Okay, balikan natin si Micah baka hindi pa siya ready. Let's call on Lorraine muna. Yes, Lorraine? Ala, bago lang daw gibulagan si Micah. Ano, wala daw tingog si Lorraine. Micah, how about you, Micah? You can express your feelings even if bago lang ka gibulagan. Pwede chat? Yes, you can chat. You can send your message in our chat box if mahiya kang magsabi. Okay, Geraldine, how about you, Geraldine? Can you convince us?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Geraldine. How are
Ma'am,
you?
short
Yes.
lang po.
Oh, yes, that's okay.
Okay. When I tell you I love you, I don't say it out of habit. I say it to remind you that you're the best thing that ever happened to me. I love you for all that you are, all that you have been, and all that you're yet to be. I admire the way you handle every challenge that is thrown your way. I'm proud of you from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. I adore everything and everywhere in between.
All right. Thank you so much, Geraldine. So sabi ni Geraldine, I love the way how you handle things. So that's very powerful. Every time you appreciate someone, that's really that would provide a great impact for them. It's even if it's just a small thing or just like simple words like that. Okay? Naapa daw si Angeline, oh. Ma'am, naapa ko. Unsa man na Angeline? Power daw si ano, Geraldine ingon si France. Ala short lang daw, okay? Uh, Yes, according to Lorraine, you literally mean the world to me. I love you beyond belief because you keep me happy every day. I am the luckiest girl knowing that I have you. Can't believe that we're come this far, and it makes me so grateful having you by my side all the time. All right. With emotions, ala, kaulo pud ano. I miss you every second when I'm not with you. I literally appreciate everything you do for me. You're the sweetest, most supportive, caring, and hilarious person I've ever met. Yes, even if how cruel or how much that person you really want to like get away of the relationship, but still that love holds you even more. All right. Okay. Unsa man ang mga label label dira? Na-adjud
Ma'am,
na
ikaw
sila.
daw, ma'am. Basig naka-example, ma'am.
Ala. um wala kay di man ko hard good mag-convince kay sigmaing na nang tag ano ba? Naga uto-uto tag tao. Pero wala dili kay ko hard mag-convince og when it comes to showing my love because I'm really a shy type. Shy type pinalito. Okay. Oh, yes, same ma'am according to Mike. Go ma'am. Ay,
Example na dira, ma'am.
ala. Wala dili man ko hard jud. Um
Si ma'am ang gud gina-convince
Ma'am,
ko
dili
daw.
ra jud minimo love, ma'am. Maong dili minimo hatagan og example. Kinsa ra man good name para hatagan og example, di ba,
ala.
guys?
Oh my
Puro
god.
bells.
Mao jud, tama jud si Angeline, ma'am.
Ala.
Ano bells cry cry.
Alright, thank you so much, class. No, dili mo jud kay ko kanang di mo ko mamugos og tao, guys. Char lang basta di mo ganan abig pag ang tao kay marag kasi I don't wanna force someone if they can't love me like that. So, ala, sure, go iba. Charot lang, guys. Oy. Sige na. Dili jud kay ko how mag-convince, guys. Pero one thing is for sure, I can convince a person through I can show my love to person through writing poems like that because my love language is words of affiliation. Even if wala kay effort para sa kuha, if you can't buy me things that I want, wala jud ko ilabot ana, guys, as long as you can make me happy through words. Kay dali ra jud kay ko mauto, guys. Promise ka ng mga words lang gud na makapagpakilig dayon gud kay kiligon din ko na. Dili ra kay ko kiligon. So, reverse card ba? If you love me, period. Charis. Nga na, basta, nga na lang jud na siya, guys. Basta, di lang jud ta mo gusto og tao. Pero, pag love bang good nimo ang tao, good kay, makaingon jud kag mga cringe words. Ako, cringe pug ko na pagkatao. Alright. Okay, na pa'y gusto? Si Francis Adrian Amper. Hi, Francis. Can we hear something from you? Francis? Ang higugma ko kanimo murag tambut sa gabuto-buto. Muto ko na guys, kiligon jud kog mga ingana ng mga words. Okay, yes. At type, ma'am, pwede. Yes, type. You can send here your message in our chat box. Oh, sabi ni Francis, I can convince and prove my love to someone by an honest and good conversation. Honesty is the best foundation of trust, and by trust comes a good, healthy relationship. Yes. Always be honest to your partner kasi one lie can destroy everything and you can't put that back together again if you have ruined their trust. Even just a small lie, guys, that's very a great impact for others. Pabut sama si Franz. Okay. Another here, Nash. Yes, Nash. Gusto kong marinig ang boses mo, Nash. Okay. Hi,
Hello, ma'am.
Nash.
Madunggan po, ma'am.
Yes. Loud and clear.
Sige, ma'am. Um, um, I just want to tell you that um, I want to live this life with you, and I don't want and I don't want you to love me back. I just want to love you unconditionally. Ay, sa to.
Oh, yeah. So you would like, sabi mo, you would just want to love them unconditionally. Yes, thank you so much for that, Nash. Okay, sabi ni Kirby, ma'am, mauna iyang giingon. I-convince daw ni Nash through Harana, ma'am. Oh, yes, Harana, very, very powerful kay ang Harana, guys. That's very convincing. Tuod jud ko, ana, na love jud ko sa person pag kantahan ko or mga ingana, kay ano ba guys, hopeless romantic pud ko na pagkatao. Gamay lang gud ng mga butang kay di jud na mag-matter sa kuha mga material things, guys. As long as mapakita gud mo through efforts nga na tuo jud ko na love jud ko sa person pag buhaton na niya. Jansel daw. Yes, Jansel. Hi, Jansel. Pinangga kay tika. Yes, go.
Short lang po ito, ma'am.
Yes.
I would die with 1,000 men just to make you safe. I love every single part of you externally and internally. I would never do such thing to hurt you, so please put your trust in me.
All right. Thank you so much. Pag, when it comes to love, we can really add like hyperbole expressions when we convince or if we like to say something about a person. So that's how made us more cringe. Ma'am, basaha sa... Ay, sorry, Angeline. Let me back read here. Asa naman? Asa naman to? Can you send it again? Ma'am, basaha sa... Yes, can you send it again? I can't... Dagtaas na kayo inyong mga chat. Andres Angeline, pinangga kay katikalangga. Mas love pati ka kesa sa... kesa sa akong... Ala! Unsa man na? Nga baga. Mas baga pa yung paghigugma kaysa sa kuban. Alright. Ayaw basahan, ma'am, kung malay. Hala. Reveal. Oh my gosh. Alright. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay. Kinsa pa gusto mag-participate dira? I really want to hear from you. Let's hear from girls naman. I want to hear from girls. Roxanne. Hi, Roxanne. Are you there? Can you please turn on your microphone? Wala bang mga sad boy na mapang-convince dyan? Mutuo mga sad boy, guys.
Dili, ma'am. Wala na
Yes,
diri,
ma'am,
ma'am.
si Kirby o si Kurt.
Mga sad
Oo.
boy na to na. Kanang mo ingon na, ani raman ko, uy, kinsa ramang good ko, pare gugmao.
True, ma'am. True, ma'am.
Ay, tuwa na, guys. Kay, basta, di ko mutuog mga ingana. Ayaw mo kanang pahadala sa mga sad boy. And sad girl. Lamang ko yung mga
Ma'am,
sad girls.
nag-topic lagi tawagin ani, ma'am.
Ay, gano'n,
Mamaya
no?
naman ang di ba ang Valentine's.
Ay, oo, extended ato ang Valentine's, guys. Kisa may mga nalipay dira tong Valentine's, may mga kisa inspired dira. Can you speak sa mga inspired dira atong Valentine's? Natug na daw mo tong Valentine's. Same,
Gmeet
guys.
lang man namang gibuhat, ma'am.
Natug rasad ko tong Valentine's.
Ma'am,
Alright.
na-inspire ko, ma'am. Study, ma'am.
Nag-nasty lang ni ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, thank you so much. Philmark. Ay, napay Philmark. Gusto pa si Philmark? Nakig-date kay ma'am. Ay, quiz ka date.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, hi, Philmark. Hi. How can you convince us that, how can you convince her how much you love her? Yes.
Ma'am, searchan lang niya ako para sa points.
No
Yeah.
problem. That's understandable. Okay, go.
Okay, ma'am. Wait. All I can see is that I will love you for life. Then I will give everything I have to you. I will love you so much because I promise you that I will take you to the altar.
Alright, kiligon jud ang ano, bisan pag unsa ng mga words nimo dara kiligon jud ang mga maminaw. Especially if ang love language sa tao kay kuan, ikaw ra may gikilig. Hala, wala mo gikilig kay Philmark? Okay. Ay, wala. Bastos. Wala, ma'am. Wala, ma-hurt si Philmark. Wala ko katilawan ng
Di na
higugma.
ma-hurt, ma'am. Gani uyab.
Ala, planuhan na to. Alright, high standard man good ko. Ala, high standard si Franz, oh. Unsa man jud na makapagkiliti sa imong Franz kung high standard man di ay ka. Atik na. Okay, so sa tanan nag-participate guys, kakinsa man mo mas gikilig sa tanan?
Si Mua,
Sa
ma'am.
iyang mga atik.
Sa kuha.
Sa iyang
Si
ate,
Mua,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Kay Philmar. Oh, si Gilbert, kikilig daw kay Philmar. Nice daw kay Kurt. Yes, nice kay Kurt. Gikilig ko kay kay Franz. Ano siya, I love you to death daw. Nga na nang grabe kay ang ihang paghigugma. Love you to death daw. Okay, Geraldine. Ano sabi ni Geraldine kanina? I love the way how you handle things. Sabi din ni Nina kanina, no language can explain. Then sabi din ni Angeline, you are the reason of my smile. Sabi din ni Justin, I love you more than my anime figure. Ano si Gilbert Kuyawa, mga tig-ari nila eh. Yes, anything for love. Ay, Xaba Berto. Alright, thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate your participation, class. I love how genuine your words are, and if I were your special someone, I might believe in you as well. But in real life, always remember actions speak louder than words, okay? And we can't just believe in their white lies that easily because we appeal to emotions. That is why sometimes we are easy to convince because of the emotions. And bisan pag kapila na ta binuangan good moto gyapon ta sa gamayng storya, gamayng lambing. Mapasaylo gyapon na to kung naluoy ta kasi that's how powerful emotions. Kung ang emotions na jud ang na-convince good nga nakahawd ang convincing skill sa mga manipulative sad boy ug sad girl. Joke. But everyone is naturally very good in convincing. That's a good job for everyone. Give yourself a virtual round of applause, class. You can send emoji claps in the chat box, okay? Yay, everyone. Send emoji clap in our chat box. All right. Thank you, everyone. Very good in convincing skills. Oy. Very good. All right. Okay, to begin. Yung tama ng hype. Thank you, everyone. A round of applause for everyone. Mga good and convincing. Ma'am Kinsay, pina-convincing. Oh, kamo tanan, very convincing jud ang inyong mga words. Kay kung for me lang, for someone na ang love language kay words of affiliation, all of you guys are really convincing. Okay, thank you so much. Si Kurt, ako na oy. Okay, so let's start here. Okay, so to begin, what does convincing has something to do with our topic for today, all right? Because we will discuss everything about persuasive writing, all right? Because every day in life, we encounter persuasive writing because it intends to convince readers to believe in an idea and to do an action. So, it also in many writings such as critics, reviews, reaction papers, editorials, proposals, advertisements, and brochures use different ways to persuade or to influence our readers and our listeners. So here, even if in our everyday lives, even if we just listen to the radio, whether it's the radio announcer telling us why should we keep listening to his radio station, or a magazine article about our favorite music artist, or even the presidential candidates in on TV ads, right? Their campaigns and their platforms, ang ilang mga pangako na mga hindi natupad, and advocacies as well. So it intends to convince readers and our listeners to believe in such idea, and of course to do an action. So that's one of the examples, the critics, the reviews, even debates for speaking, reaction papers, editorials, proposals, and especially advertisements, guys. Mahikayat jud ka to like to buy this because the advertisement is very convincing. So, persuasive writing helps you effectively to communicate your thoughts and opinions with other people through a piece of written work, not just in written work, but kagaya ng mga sinasabi nyo kanina, through words, mga convincing skills natin dyan. So, its techniques provides us guidance for framing an argument and ways to merge distinct types of information into a seamless body of work. So, you can also use it to gain support in adjusting a system or a situation, just like kanina, just like our activity earlier. Learning how to write this effectively would help you prepare, not just in your chosen career field, but also in in a daily basis. I believe that academic paper was already introduced to you, right? Especially the research paper and like like yung may mga stand na mga types of paper, academic paper. So this would be helpful, simply put, to be able to express your ideas and opinions in a constructive way on paper. It's something you will rely on in your professional and personal lives. So, we have here three techniques in persuasive writing. We have different methods in order for us to convince our readers. We have here first presenting strong evidence. So, one example here, it's according to the 2015 Philippine Global Youth Survey, 14.6% of high school students aged 13 to 15 use tobacco products. So, you have to present factual information. Whenever you would like to persuade someone with your stand, you have to make sure that you support details from a very reliant or reliable sources. It might be from research, reports, or anything. So, why it is one of our techniques? Again, we go back to the goal of persuasive writing, which is to convince readers and listeners. So, to believe in our stand or in our point. So, one example is we can present statistic reports, we can present numbers, or it would be a strong evidence for us to believe that what her saying is true because there's a report, there's a research study about it. So you have to make sure that your websites as well are verified and proofs to help you prove your point. So we have to make sure that it is backed up with verifiable sources. So we can't just believe that students use tobacco products easily without any proven evidence, right? That is why results from every study are a useful tool here to support your argument. Again, presenting strong evidence as our one technique in persuasive writing to provide factual information and to support details from a verified sources. Okay, that's for the presenting strong evidence. The second one is concrete, relevant, and reasonable examples. Here, for example, in our team, I've noticed that the top performers are those who take frequent but short breaks to surf the internet, usually on their phones using mobile internet, as the Wi-Fi in our office makes use of website blocking. So here we can see from the example I've noticed. You can also include your opinion and your observations towards a certain topic or idea, but solely, of course, relevant to target readers only. So we have here, we need to make sure that they can relate. Um, we have to choose a relevant sample for our target readers is one technique to persuade a reader. So it's because you can enhance your idea or opinion if you are speaking or your writing is intended for someone who can really relate with your paper. And then those examples can be based on your observations as well or from your own experiences. So that would be a great deal to support our argument as well if you can relate. That's why concrete, relevant, and reasonable examples are intended or can be relevant for your target readers. So you have to make sure that your samples is relevant, or it can be anything that as long as your target readers can relate. Okay, so that's for the concrete, relevant, and reasonable examples. Last is we have accurate, current, and balanced information. So we have here in our example, according to the National Bullying Prevention Center, a slightly higher portion of female than of male students report being bullied at school, 23% versus 19%. However, this does not take into account unreported bullying. Okay, so you can support your idea to your main theme when you cite studies, but make sure you add a credibility to your persuasive writing. You have to present advantages and disadvantages. So you do not only include proofs to support your claims alone, but also you have to provide advantages and disadvantages for both ways. That is why it is important to have a balanced information and support that you can weigh pros and cons of the idea. That's how we evaluate the accuracy of the information in order for us to believe what we should stand, because you can't just support your claim without knowing the other side of the coin, right? You have to know the strength and weaknesses of your data as well. So that is why we should be balanced or neutral as long as it's accurate. Again, accurate, current, and balanced information, we have or we need to add credibility to our writing. So we can add or we can weigh the pros and cons. We have to be balanced, we have to be neutral, we have to know the other side of the story or the topic, and that is why we can make a balanced information to our persuasive writing. Okay, so here we have three modes of persuasion, which also in accordance with Aristotle to teach students how to convince the audience. Here, hello guys, am I too fast? Can you clearly hear me? Or maingay ba ang aking background? Okay,
Okay lang po.
You're
alright.
too clear, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. Okay, we have here the first one for our modes of persuasion. We have the ethos. When we say ethos, it is in line with credibility. Here in our example, as a doctor, I am qualified to tell you that this course of treatment will likely generate the best results. Okay, so ethos is ethics. We appeal to ethics here. It is about the credibility or authority of the speaker. When we talk about persuasion, we also include the authority of the speaker, guys, depending on his line of profession or field of expertise. We need to consider if, in order for us to know if he's the right person to discuss such things as recommended by an expert in that specific field, then we can verify the accuracy of such details. For example, here, as a doctor, I am qualified to tell you that this course of treatment will likely generate the best results. So, for me as a teacher, if ako be the one na magsabi nito, mag-believe ba kayo sa akin? Di ba hindi? Kasi I'm not a doctor. It's not my field of expertise. So when a doctor will say this, of course, probably you would believe him because it's his profession. You would be believing a person based on his profession. You can't just trust them for saying such things because hindi naman siya reliable because it's not their profession. So if me as a teacher, if I would provide you details about grammar, about language, about English, then you might believe me because it's my profession. But as a doctor, I will not recommend you to do such thing or to advise you with like treatments like that because I'm not a doctor. So probably you won't believe me. Okay, so that's for the ethos. We are appealing to ethics and we add credibility to our speaker. That's for the ethos. Here for the pathos, guys, I will be presenting or I will be going to play a video here. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me check here first. Give me 1 second, guys, okay? Here. Okay, for the pathos.
หนูอยากได้พ่อที่ดีกว่านี้ พ่อที่ไม่เป็นใบ้ พ่อที่เหมือนคนอื่น พ่อที่ได้ยินในสิ่งที่หนูอยากบอก พ่อที่พูดได้ แล้วก็เข้าใจหนูได้
อยากให้ลูกเป็นอะไรนะหมอ
บางทีอาจจะไม่มีพ่อที่ดีที่สุด แต่มีพ่อที่รักคุณมากที่สุด ดูแลคนที่ดูแลคุณ ไทยประกันชีวิต
Okay, thank you so much everyone. Alright, diba? Ang ana ka-convincing ang advertisement kay grabe. Just let me check here. Let me back my screen first. Okay. I'm not crying, you're crying. Diba? Here in Pathos, we appeal to emotion. Sad, the fact that it's not an ad. Oh, really? It's based from real life, guys? I'm not crying. Agay Life Insurance. Yes, here in Pathos, we appeal to emotion. 'Di ba? Sabi nga dito sa example, secure your family's future, invest in life insurance now. So, pathos is a mode of persuasion that appeals to your emotion. What have you noticed from the ad? Right? It's very emotional. Ako, the first time I saw the video, I cried as well. It's from a seminar. Then when it was played, everyone was emotional watching it, and then at the end, we all laughed because it's just an ad, or maybe because we really put ourselves to the emotion so much that we didn't realize that it's an ad. Then sabi nga doon sa last part ng ad, nung umiiyak na yung tatay, sabi niya, take my blood, I have house, I have money. And then yung purpose pala talaga ng ad is to get an insurance kasi kapag may insurance ka, hindi mo na kailangan ibenta yung bahay mo or yung bigay yung lahat ng savings mo or yung dugo mo kasi you have your insurance. So that's how effective yung appealing to emotion when we use it in advertisements. So that's very powerful to convince your readers or your audience. Yes, so advertising messages usually based on imagery rather than information, which attempt to achieve the advertiser's objectives by evoking by a rational appeal. Okay, rather than by a rational appeal. So they are not convincing you using words. They don't have facts or any details. They are just convincing you using your emotions. They are manipulating your emotions according to job. Yes, manipulative kayo. Sabi ni Kurt, I was crying too, tapos nakita ko yung life insurance. I was like, are you kidding me? Yes, everyone, kami din, yung first time namin ma-watch yung video. We were all crying, and then at the end, wow, it's just an ad for an insurance. Hapit ko ka-cry, wala kaso ng lood. Alright, thank you, Gilbert. Yeah, 'di ba? Grabe kay itong ano, katong Thai na ano, Thai, ano man to, from Thailand insurance advertisement. So, that's how one way to persuade or to convince your readers or your audience through your emotions. It is a promotional tactic that stimulates emotions among consumers. So, a customer needs to understand the message very clearly, though, the promotional campaign. So, advertising appeal helps in delivering that messaging in a way through which customer not only understands the message but also responds to it, di ba? after mo ma after mo ma-watch yung video, 'di ba, kung affected ka talaga sa video, sasabihin mo dapat mag-insurance na jud ko kay di ko gusto mahitabo to na akong papa i-sacrifice iyang dugo, i-sacrifice iyang balay, i-sacrifice iyang money because of bills in the hospital. So that's why I should get an insurance now. So there are people like that when they're really convinced with the video. Sabi ni Jan, I have the urge to spit profanities. Yes, I was disappointed too when I watched the video. The picture that shows that it's an ad broke my pathos. Yeah. All right. So that's for the pathos as a mode of persuasion. We have a lot of in a daily basis. For example, if you would like to have a job like um please accept me in this job because I really need this job kasi yung anak ko may sakit. Ayan. So sa tingin mo, yung employer, anong gagawin niya? I-hire ka ba niya kasi naawa siya sa 'Di ba? It depends on the situation, it depends on the emotion kung grabe na jud. Another is when bagsak ka na sa sa test or sa iyong school year, and then kailangan mo mag-repeat. Then sabihin mo sa teacher mo na, "Ma'am, I really need to pass, please, kasi ako lang yung yung panganay sa amin. Ako yung panganay sa amin. I really need to move forward to the next year kasi I can't repeat the subjects kasi masyado na kaming mahirap, masyado na kaming naghihirap sa pera, wala na akong pang tuition, tapos babalik pa ako ng school year." So, ganyan. So, kung yung teacher, maawa siya kasi grabe yung emotions na nire-release ng bata, syempre, maawa siya at saka bigyan niya ng chance to pass. So, it depends on your convincing skill. So, there are a lot of things and pathos that we can encounter in our daily lives. So, not just in promotional ads as well. Okay? So, that's for the pathos. Again, it appeals to our emotions. Okay, next for the logos, we have here logic. It appeals to logic. Here we can see the example. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we have not only the fingerprints, the lack of an alibi, and a clear motive and an expressed desire to commit the robbery. We also have video of the suspect breaking in. So the case could not be more open and shut. So here in our last mode of persuasion in Logos, we appeal to logic and
reason. Logos is about appealing to your audience's logical side. So, as writers, we appeal to logos by presenting a line of reasoning in our arguments. That is in a logical and clear manner. So we use evidence such as statistics and factual information. So when we appeal to logos, they convince us through evidence. So when we say ethos again, we appeal to ethics and we add credibility to the speaker or the writer, and to the pathos we appeal to emotion. Here in logos we appeal to logic, and we are convinced through their facts, their presented facts, and their strategies, evidences, and logical argument. Okay, so that's how they made presenting facts that lead the audience to a specific conclusion. So appeals based on a reason rely on facts rather than an emotion. So in pathos, they rely on emotions. Here in logos, they rely on facts. They rely on logics. In turn, each logical argument in your essay must be supported by evidence, facts, statistics, expert testimony, or details about the argument. Okay? Again, for the ethos, we add credibility to our writer. We appeal to ethics. Pathos, we appeal to emotions. Logos, we appeal to logic. All right. So here, let's move on to the common logical fallacies. So a fallacy is an error of reasoning. These are flawed statements that often sound true. So errors in reasoning. So a fallacy is the use of invalid or otherwise faulty reasoning. It is the construction of an argument which may appear stronger than it really is. So a fallacy is when someone notices your argument contains a fallacy that leads them to believe your entire claim as false. So even if someone has a weak argument, you can still find that their point is correct because of their usage of fallacies, right? So kung nga na jud siya ka powerful ang yung fallacy na gigamit to the point na mutuo ka sa iya bisag mali. Okay? Yeah, nga na siya. Basta mali, mutuo gyapon ka. Kasi grabe yung kanyang pag-manipulate sa iyo. Ganyan ka strong ang kanyang fallacy na ginawa or gi-add sa kanyang writing or sa kanyang speech. So that's how fallacy works. We can encounter them in a daily basis as well. But to be more specific, let's move on to the relevance of fallacy, why we should need to learn or to know about fallacy. It's because it is our ability to argue well. We can develop our analytical skills. We can avoid in committing mistakes repeatedly if we know or if we can recognize these fallacies. Kasi we can experience them every day. Hindi natin namamalayan na yung kausap mo, yung ka-argue mo is gumagamit na pala ng fallacy. At saka to the point na magbigay siya ng impact sa'yo through your heart. Pwede kang masaktan or pwede kang magalit, ganyan. And then promoting fair, just decision, detecting the error. So, fallacies prevent the opportunity for an open, two-way exchange of ideas that are required for meaningful conversations. Rather, these fallacies distract your readers with an overload of rhetorical appeals instead of using through reasoning. They are not thinking in a logical way. Instead, they are attacking you or they are using these irrelevant reasoning for you to believe them or for them to prove their point. So that is why it is important to study fallacies so you can avoid them in any arguments that you will make. So studying fallacies also provides you with a foundation for evaluating and critiquing other arguments as well. So once you start studying and you'll be able to identify these types of fallacies, then you'll find them everywhere in any situation, in any conversation, in any reading materials. Okay, so here's the first example of our fallacy. We have argumentum ad hominem or ad hominem. In this type of argument, the writer opposes the points made by attacking the person who made them. Instead of discussing the issue, the writer calls the opponent names. For example, I cannot accept that my political rival is running for senator. She is an immoral woman who has several lovers and she finances them all. Who knows where she gets the money to fund them? She should not be voted into the Senate because of her lewd behavior. All right? So ad hominem. attacking the person instead of the argument, all right? It is really rampant right now, guys, because the hype in social media with this political issue since we have our presidential election, right? And social media made it worse. So one example is Tony Gonzaga, right? For her decision to support BBM, people seem to turn the other way around and attack her with her personal experiences. There was also a hater who wished for a failed marriage, marriage for Tony. Nakita ba mo ana sa mga rants sa Facebook na naay nag-wish for Tony na unta mag-cheat na iyang asawa uy kay so man ang belief ni Tony kay ano ay sa iyang political beliefs niya nga nang ingana man na iyang ginapadigan man niya si BBM magbulag unta na sa siyang asawa uy mga ingana. On the other side of the coin, Don Chang, right? She was also attacked by Tony's supporters using her physical appearance and also her performance as a dancer. So it doesn't mean that it doesn't have something to do with her political beliefs, right? And her anger towards Tony, instead to fight back in a logical way, people just rather attack her in a close-minded way. So that's one example of ad hominem. They are attacking the person instead of the argument. So it's not really a good argument at all if you are just using this type of reasoning just to attack the person. So another example din yan is kapag sasabihin mong ayaw mo sa tao kasi of the way he dressed, of the way he looked in her previous experiences in life. So that's a one way as well to give life to ad hominem. So, ad hominem, we resort and switch to a different aspect. They don't discuss the argument, but rather they invalidate the argument based on their life experiences, their past, their previous relationships, their physical appearance, and their mistakes from their previous life. So, yes, okay, we have here another example. Maxine should not get that job at the bank. She has no taste in boyfriends and her apartment is a mess. So, how do we correct this fallacy? Okay, why she can't actually get the job? It might be financial issues or lack of time, or it might be they should not get that job at the bank because she is not qualified. She should not be get the job because she's not qualified. She has no sense for money and her finances are a mess. So, it doesn't mean na dili dapat siya makakuha ana na job because anong gi-attack nimo siya what is she's really good at the job, right? And then it doesn't matter if wala siya taste sa iyang boyfriend and yung apartment kay hugaw, but she's qualified to become an employee of that bank. So why not? So we are attacking her instead of her personality. We're attacking her because of her experiences or her past. So that's ad hominem. So, class, is there any time in your life, class, that you attack the person instead of the topic? Or have you experienced or have you met some people like that na gina-attack mo using your personality? Yes, Job, yes? Okay, of course, according to Kurt. Yes, can you cite me examples or in your life na grabe nung kaning tawhanan jud grabe maka ano ay grabe maka gaslight mga gaslighting ako mismo nagbully si Cha ako mismo nagbully okay yes can you send your messages in our chat box let me know if what are these examples or what are your experiences with ad hominem sabi ni Job siya daw yung nagbully paano mo siya gibully Job yes paano nangatawang uban okay nakarelate kanang ano ma'am oo kana anang example ni Kirby guys kanang ano mo to mo ko sa imuha na pangit magay kay ka tong grade 1 manggani kay kaigit magani kasi mo ang panty katong grade 1 ano mo to mo kasi mo ang ana ano ma'am sinabihan na bogo kapag di mo dapat saan man na pag ano saan man na pag kuan job saan man na pag put to life sige daw turn on your microphone saan man na pag put to life sige daw ayaw ma wala man gani kay oh tama jud na padaplin di wa may kay buot yan na ayaw man dili ko alright sige more another Angeline straight through yes daghan yung kay example guys for example is kanang debate when you are in a debate tapos on the other side kay more siya attorney or like attorney on the other side sa stand mana din ang mga audience na dili ko mutuo ana sa iyaha uy kay katulo magid siya nibagsak sa bar exam nganong mutuo man ko ana sa iya ngana so it doesn't mean na nibagsak siya sa bar exam dili na tinuod iyang mga gipang-ingon di ba so you are attacking her based on her past experiences her failures and that's not right that's ad hominem you are attacking them based on their mistakes so it's not right at all kasi hindi naman tama na hindi ka mag-believe sa kanya just because thrice or twice siyang bumagsak sa bar exam. So that's really a pain for her. Yes, na ako example pero sa Valorant. Yes, Kurt, can you share that? What is that example from your Valorant experience?
Ah, um, karamihan po kasi sa ma'am sa like like Valorant lang good ma'am is a game
Mm.
like game siya para sa PC. And then sometimes kapag merong strategies na parang hindi nag-work out, parang you try to talk with your teammates about it. And sabihin mo na we should do this instead next time. Tapos sasabihin ng mga tao sa'yo na bobo ka, yung mga ganun good ma'am. Kahit na sabihin mo kahit na mag-isip ka ng something na makapag-benefit sa mga teammates mo, sasabihin ka ng bobo. Tapos parang doon mag-start yung ad hominem ng two sides ma'am ba? Like for example, kami may mga sariling PC and then yung mga nasa computeran ma'am, nasa PisoNet. Mag parang ad hominem na yung both sides ma'am. Na taga PisoNet ka lang. Mga ganun ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Kurt. Yes, we every day, even if just like Kurt from his Valorant, whenever they play, we are really experiencing things like ad hominem if we are really angry, right? Especially if you're being rude to someone, if you don't like the way she acts, then you would probably attack her in any means that you would like. Especially if you can't do any reasoning, you would just to attack them instead in a personal way. So that's very sad and to hear. But I will not be hypocrite as well because I'm also like that in some cases. Tanim ka ng patasas bang ba bang ba mo kag headset. Sabot jud ka ng mga ano no mga tao sa internet pag magdula. Ana pud si Job sa Dota. Yes, Job. Unsa man imong experience about ad hominem? Naka-experience? Tanim ka ng patatas. The League of Legends din, ma'am. Ano, unsa man Job? Sige, turn on your microphone. Sige, Job, go.
Ma'am, kapo experience mo dulag lol mo kay giingnan ko nalag ano ma'am, kaon daw patatas ug tanumsa daw.
Lokaluoy,
Kapastos
uy.
kayo. Pastos kayo ma'am.
Oh, yes, trash talk. Uy, nga na dyan ang mga tao. Ay, bisag wala ko relate ko sa inyong dula. Kay, ingon na lang nila. Kay, para na sila maingon sa imo tungod sa ilang kalagot. Kay, nga na, I understand gamers. Kay, siguro, kay, naglagot sila kay napilde or na feeling threatened sila kay daog mo nga na so grabe nga na jud ng mga tao guys in any situation even in at school even if like a competition in school like games politics yes as long as di ko gusto malabuan nga na jud ng mga tao that's very normal and we can face them every day katong kausat tong atuang kalaban mga madula-dula dahil mo sila dali dili nila madawat ang kapildihon ma'am yes that's correct nga na jud ng mga tao na dili jud gusto malabuan kay gusto nila sila lang permi ang daog so that's ad hominem okay thank you let's proceed to our next fallacy we have here faulty cause and effect so it is superstition post hoc ergo propter hoc, cum hoc ergo propter. Meron siya ano ay tongue twister. Two events that happen sequentially are causally related. So this argument is also called post hoc, ergo propter hoc, and it is after this, therefore because of this. So one example here is the water here in our village is no longer safe to drink because of several hotels that have been recently put up. They have polluted our waters by not having a good waste management system. Because our waters are polluted, we now have many mosquitoes, the reason that our children are getting dengue. So, this fallacy falsely assumes that one event causes another. So, often a reader will mistake a time connection for a cause and effect connection. Si, muingon ka, kamatay ka sa pag Yes. Grabe yan. Uban no, mandamay og pamilya kung sa ad hominem yan. Mandamay na sila pamilya nga na sila ka worst type of people. Yeah. Salty kayo, ma'am. Yeah. Okay, going back to faulty cause and effect, but actually this reasoning is incorrect. Faulty cause and effect is very incorrect because the occurrence of phenomena close in time could be the result of randomness or nagkataon lang. Nagkataon lang. One example here is katong nakasugat kag black cat, and then 'di ba? We would really assume that malason ka because nakasugat kag black cat. So dili ba ibig sabihin na dili ba pwede na malas lang jud ka or nagkataon lang jud na naniagi na black cat, 'di ba? Yan then imuha nang i-blame sa cat ang imuhang kamalason karong adlaw tungod lang nakasugat kag black cat. So that's very a wrong reasoning. So that's an example of cause and effect reasoning or fallacy. Yes, job, mga ano ma'am, superstition. Yes, correct. Superstition. There are a lot of superstitions believe na atuang i-blame sa mga dili ingon nato mga not like ours ang mga kamalason nato sa atong kinabuhi. Yes, Franz, naka-experience ka. Sige, can you cite an example of Franz? Ka-experience kag ingani na reasoning?
Ay, ako mato mismo, ma'am.
Sige daw.
Kanang nagdula mi basketball, ma'am, ba tapos
Mm.
kanang habang gadula mi, ma'am, kay wala pa tong kuya nako na ano na muapas tapos pag kung wala pa siya, ma'am, kay gwapo kay akong dula nga ana tapos pag-abot niya kay na di mo ko natapilok ko nya wala ako kadula. Pag uli na, ma'am, kay niana ko na tungod mo si mogol ba pag-abot nimo natapilok na ko nga ana mo ba.
Yes, tama. That's
Napilok sa kagwapo.
yes. Sige, go. Yes, Kirby, pinakagwapo kay.
Di ma'am. Natapilok siya ma'am kay gwapo kay ang kuya ma'am.
Ah. So, murag na ano siya kanang na-stun. Tungod sa kagwapo na katawa sila oh. Okay, yes. So, faulty cause and effect, it is always the connection is not valid. So, we really blame specific event to the effect of that particular situation. So that's not really a good reasoning at all, guys. Yes, you have here one example. Every time I wash my car, it rains. I guess washing my car today would be a bad idea if you want to have fun in the sun. So, di ba? Is it really right to blame washing your car kung mag-ulan? So it's not because nagkataon lamang na itong the last time na nagwash kag car kay ni ulan. So it might be this time when you wash your car this time kay di pud ibig sabihin na mag-ulan na pud because it happened the last week. So that's a very invalid. The connection is very invalid. So that's one example for the cause and effect. So how can we make it correct? We can just think of like this. Every time I wash my car, it gets clean. So on a different topic, I hope it doesn't rain today. So that's how we should correct this faulty cause and effect. Okay? Again, so what is faulty cause and effect? It is where we make a connection between two irrelevant things which is very invalid. So that's for the faulty and cause and effect. Okay, so let's move on to our next. It's either or reasoning. So this type of reasoning provides the reader with two options and does not recognize complexity. Often those who use this in an argument oversimplify the problem and only provide two solutions or reasons for a problem. For example, I thought you support the new mayor, but you just criticize her about the curfew that she recently imposed. You don't really support her at all. Right? So it doesn't recognize complexity of your idea, sticking only to two options, solutions, and reasons. So one example here, guys, is in the politics, right? For example, nagaikot lang yung mundo natin kay BBM at Lenny ngayon, pero hindi wala ta kabalo na napaday laing presidential uh, running mates na nagdagan dili lang man si BBM o si Lenny ang atong candidates karon, right? But every time we see or we scroll in our Facebook, makita nato na ang permanente discussion kay all about BBM and Lenny. But we are limiting our choices with these two person. Napa may laing tao like Pacquiao, di ba? Boto ba mo kay Pacquiao? Di mo boto kay Pacquiao, guys? Kisay maka-vote na ba mo? Maka-vote naman mo no, mga 18 naman mo dere ah. Yes.
Ma'am. May I comment on something about Pacquiao, ma'am?
Yes, John. Yes, sure.
Okay, so there was an interview that he was discussing with someone. The question was, do you agree about abortions? Do you agree about freely letting like women abort? And the thing is, the interviewer said this within the context of like rape, unconsented sex, and Pacquiao responded with, "No, I don't think. No, I don't think I should allow abortions because of the fact that a marriage and sex between two people are consented." So, do you see what's the problem, ma'am? Do you see what's the problem?
Yes.
Do you see what's the problem, ma'am?
Right? So we can see really here the limitations of the two options. So it's really incorrect reasoning, right? So we can't just think about the things that because there's a lot of options that we can consider. So yeah, tama si the women are victims. It's not like they wanted to be raped. Yes, that's correct. So there are a lot of reasons why ma-rape jud ang mga babae. So it doesn't mean that we can limit ourselves to specific reasons because it's broad. Anything happens for a reason and we have a lot or you have broad explanation about it. It's not just we are limited with two options. So yes, can we just all agree that Philippines have a very hard Yes, that's correct, Kurt. Uh, usahay lang jud kay nga na mga burong lang jud ng mga Pilipino usahay. Isa pud ta dito usahay nga na ang pud ta mag-isip. Yes, very good class. I really appreciate Jan your input. Thank you so much. Again, for the either or reasoning, we have here the limitation of two options and would conclude to such things. So, a type of informal fallacy or persuasive technique in which an argument is constructed so as imply the necessity of choosing one of only two alternatives. Okay, so that's for the either or reasoning. So we have here another example. Needless to say, there was a lot of backlash when Pacquiao did that interview. Yes, that's correct. Yes, it's here from our one example. Either go to college or forget about getting a job. Okay, because his answer was so controversial. Yes, that's correct. Can have the reasoning or like a valid or a logical explanation for that, but they choose like to use like a broad or like incorrect. We all know that, right? Yes. Okay, going back to our example here, either go to college or forget about getting a job. So, reading good literature is one way to appreciate culture. Yes, we better. Okay, so here we can see that doesn't mean that you will not get a job if you will not finish your college degree. So this is only two options to get a life in the future. So that's not a good reasoning at all. Another one, reading good literature is the one way to appreciate culture. So we can appreciate culture in uh, any forms of literature like arts or music, things like that. So we can't just limit ourselves with one or two options to appreciate such things. Okay?
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, Ma'am
As,
Annie.
okay, is it okay if I'll butt in muna? Because nandito na tayo, we're talking about abortion. Now, how about you, guys? Kid, I know, sorry. Guys, okay. What's your take about abortion? Do you
Agree.
believe, do you agree, especially on special cases or without reservation? I mean, we're
Disagree
just
ko, ma'am.
talking. Disagree. Okay, that's okay.
Agree.
Now, why? Pro-choice. Meron akong pro-choice, meron pro-life. That's okay. Now, how about you? Can you tell us bakit naging pro kayo? Without reservation, correct? Yung iba. But you still have your reservation if you have. Job is pro-abortion. Okay. Even if hindi rape victims or yung bata nagikan sa rape. Okay. That's interesting. Medyo liberated ang thinking ni Gab. How about yung iba?
Ma'am, can I voice my
Yeah.
reasoning because
Yeah, go.
because
When you
um
feel
um because I have a hard time typing what
Yes.
I'd say.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
so this terms of like using pro life and pro choice, there's something funny
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is my
Yes,
reasoning.
yes, yes.
So imagine you have a
Uh-huh.
child. That
Uh-huh.
you have a child. Well, just imagine it's like still
Mhm.
developing. And
Mhm.
listen, you're in a like country that is which is economically like unable to support said child,
Mhm.
and yet you're still not allowed to abort. And
Mhm.
now when that baby is born and grows up with you, you'll really have to spend like a lot of resources and money, even though you can't exactly give up so much of of that resources and money. So I'm just thinking it's
Mm-mm.
funny
Mm-mm.
because it's a choice between pro life and like it's between a choice between pro choice and pro life.
Mhm. Okay, so you're
Because,
quite
the
mm-mm.
funny because the thing is, if
Mhm.
you say that banning banning abortions is pro life, how about
Mhm.
the parents? The parents will suffer too. And that's
But yeah,
against pro
mm,
life.
mm.
Yeah,
That's against the basic definition of when we say pro-life or pro-choice.
yeah, yes.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's why I think it's funny that people say that being against um
Mhm.
uh abortions is pro life. The
Mhm.
parents are like entirely ignored. They care
Mm-mm.
about the
Mm-mm.
unborn child
Yes.
more. Yeah.
Mm, yes, thank you very much, Vincent. No, it's quite hirap, no, mahirap na to talk about abortion, especially in our country, because we are actually ang ating desisyon, okay, kanang nag-na-adjoy influence ang ako to pong religion, no, so it's quite hard to talk about this one, but at least, no, from kids like your age can still see na meron ito pro-abortion, merong iba hindi naman, so that's very nice. Very nice siya to talk about this one. So if you have later, you can think about what's your take. Kahit rape or not, kasi if agree ka na pwede lang magpa-abort ang women if rape, it's like you're saying the women can only get access to their human rights and bodily autonomy only if someone violates it first. Maganda din yun ang take ni Ninya. Okay? Pero mahirap talaga, no? It's mahirap siya pakinggan especially if you try, we have to consider also yung situation ng rape po na victim. Hindi lang physical yung na-violate sa kanya. Ano po yung mental or emotional state niya? What will happen if and when nakita niya yung bata, yung fruit po. So a lot of people agree in murder. Mhm. Yes. Okay, for a child to just so sad seeing a human being go. Yes. Murder by choice. Nerd. Mm-hmm. Of course, what do you expect for a third world country having, I don't know what kind of problems, saan naman categorize itong mga problem. But if you look at yung mga first world country, they are very open. Okay, I'm not saying na okay, okay, hindi po ko magsabi na mali po. So that's their take. Iba-iba kasi yung situation kasi natin. Iba yung situation doon sa first country and especially here sa atin na medyo struggling din po yung economy. Mm-mm. Or naman said, okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Teacher Dan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, yes, according to Greta, that's why drug addicts were killed for the population, right? Yes, correct. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay. Okay, so next, let's proceed to our next fallacy. We have here our hasty generalization. So we have, this is the generalization or conclusion drawn based on little evidence or a piece of evidence that is not representative for the whole. So, for example, smoking is not allowed inside our new apartment, so the rule inconvenienced my father, who used to smoke a lot. So, as a role model for us, his children, he quit smoking eventually. So, therefore, I say a smoking ban in the entire town will be beneficial to all families. Okay, so hasty generalization, it is a piece of negative event that impacts the entire group. So when one makes a hasty generalization class, he implies believed to a larger population. So then he should be based on the information that he has. This often leads to misinformation and, of course, stereotypes. So avoid jumping to conclusions. We should avoid jumping into conclusions based on limited samples or isolated instances, because the conclusion is not logically justified by sufficient or unbiased evidence. So it is also called on insufficient or a biased generalization, jumping to a conclusion, secundum quid, and neglect of qualifications. So here's one example of hasty generalization. Some friends from California are staying with us. They drive like maniacs, speeding, passing on the right, running red lights. I guess from people from California are irresponsible drivers. So hindi ibig sabihin na nakita lang natin yung one group from California doing such things, and then it doesn't mean that they represent the entirety or the general of their country. So it doesn't mean like that. So we have to make sure that we are not judging or we are not jumping into conclusions because of one simple or one act of these groups, and we can't just conclude that the entirety of their where they're coming from would act like it at the same time. So that's one example of hasty generalization. So in order for us to correct our logical or our reasoning in this example, we can just instead say that our friends are from California speed, passed on the right and run red lights. I guess my friends are irresponsible. So they are just irresponsible, and it doesn't mean that they represent the entirety of California. So that's an example of hasty generalization. Okay, next. False analogy. Here, it is to compare an issue, event, person, or object to another can be useful, but the comparison can confuse or mislead the audience too. There may be more differences than similarities between the two ideas being compared, and one reason may apply to one but not the other. So, one example here, people who are in favor of the reproductive health law are the same as those who think that abortion should be legal. Both kinds of people kill babies, and they are immoral. Okay? So this means that comparison is not connected at all. Fact that two things are alike in one respect leads to the invalid conclusion of that they must be alike in some other respect. So it doesn't mean that people who are in favor of reproductive health law are same as those who think that abortion should be legal, right? So it doesn't mean that they all both kinds of people kill babies. So these similarities between the two comparison doesn't mean that they have act or they function the same time as well. So that's very illogical excuse to compare such things. Those who are in favor of reproductive health law and as well as those who think that abortion should be legal, right? Okay. So here one example of false analogy have here penguins are black and white. Some old TV shows are black and white. Therefore, some penguins are old TV shows. Again, another one, noisy children are real headache. As an aspirin will make a headache go away. Therefore, an aspirin will make noisy children go away. Yes, so that's an example of false analogy. The comparison is not connected at all. In fact, the two things are alike in one respect leads to the invalid conclusion that they must be alike in some other respect. So that's for the false analogy. Next is for the circular reasoning. So here can see here the example, video piracy is wrong because it is illegal copying of a video without permission from its creator. So it supports a claim with restatement of that same claim. So circular reasoning states the very thesis of its proof, and supporting details are merely rephrasing the statement. So it seems like it felt like your statement or your explanation keeps like an ending cycle, right, of your reasoning. So it just like a two-step process that helps you ask for support for the conclusion, but they are just repeating the same explanation in the first statement. So it's just like a rephrasing. The argument circular because it goes right back to the beginning. Circular reasoning, it's a common fallacy because people simply want you to believe their conclusion without giving any support. So they are just like unending cycle of your reasoning. So this helps you to keep on explaining or like rephrasing it all over again, but it doesn't make sense. There's no substance at all. Your explanation doesn't make sense. So that's for the circular reasoning. One example here, wrestling is a dangerous sport because it is unsafe. Why? Bakit nga ba siya dangerous? Then ang iyong sagot, because it is unsafe. Then bakit siya unsafe? And then because it's dangerous. So it's just a cycle of two answers without support. So that's an example of circular reasoning. Okay, so we have here comprehension check. That's for your fallacies. We have here again the ad hominem again, right? The ad hominem is for we resort and switch to a different aspect and they don't discuss the argument and they attack the person. Again, faulty cause and effect. The connection of the effect doesn't mean it is the cause. Actually, the reasoning is incorrect because the occurrence it might be from just randomness or nagkataon lamang. Another is either or reasoning. It is limited with two options and would conclude to such things. It's limited to two options and they did not recognize complexity of your idea. Next is hasty generalization. They are a piece of negative impact of the specific group, and then it represents the entire group or the entire uh, uh, general of the particular event, or jumping to conclusion to a general, from specific to general. Next is the false analogy, a comparison of two different things which is not connected at all. Their respect leads to invalid conclusion, but they must be different in some other aspect. And lastly, for the circular reasoning, it states the verities is at its proofs, but it doesn't have support any at all because the reason it keeps on rephrasing the same thing over and over again. So that's for the circular reasoning. Now, so that we can see if you did understand everything, we can see here some examples and then let me know what's the answer. Here, the anger of the man was justified because it was just like a volcano which has to erupt after too much pressure. Yes, everyone, can you send your answers in our chat box? What does this imply? The anger of the man was justified because it was just like a volcano. Yes, Sir Felix, can you provide our students the choices for our comprehension check?
Sure, let me type in lang muna, ma'am, then, ha?
Okay, sure. Okay, we have here for Mr. John, false analogy. Yes, the anger of the man was justified because it was just like a volcano which has to erupt after too much pressure. So the two things compared here is the anger of the man and the pressure of the volcano. So here we can really say that two things are like in one respect leads to invalid conclusion, so they must be alike in some other respect. So this is false analogy. According to Nina and Job, it's faulty cause and effect. Okay, so nagasabi ba dito na tungod kay na ba siya cause and effect relationship? Like, nganong nasuko man ang man? What's the reason of the man nganong nasuko man siya? 'Di ba? So it doesn't have any effect. It's just that it was compared to a different aspect, like a volcano pressure. So that's the false analogy because of the two invalid comparison between two different aspects. Okay, so we have here next example. He cannot be expected to be a good mayor because he did not finish a college degree. Yes, what's the answer for this statement? He cannot be expected to be a good mayor. He did not finish a college degree. Okay? Yes? Okay? Okay? Kanilang ba sila ang mga students here? Sige, more. Send. Okay. Okay, yes. The answer is ad hominem. Why? Because it doesn't mean that he doesn't have his degree, then you can conclude that he can, or doesn't mean that wala siya college degree, then he's not qualified to be a mayor, or he cannot be expected to be a good mayor. So his degree does not justify or a basis of his true character as a good mayor. So it does not make any sense at all, and they are just attacking the mayor's or this person's previous or past experiences. So that's ad hominem. They attack the person by his college degree or for not finishing his college degree. So that's ad hominem. Next, their baby was the cause of good luck to the family because it was after her birth that they had to put up a very successful business. Yes, everyone, what's this? Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. How about the others? What do you think is the answer? All right. Okay, yes. The answer here is faulty cause and effect because it assumes that one event causes another. So it might be just like the reason for randomness, or everything is just a coincidence. It doesn't mean that it maybe they have their good luck in their family business when their baby was born. So it doesn't mean that he's the reason or the baby was the reason because it might be nagkataon lamang, di ba? So that's faulty cause and effect. Next, she used to work as a prostitute, thus she cannot be a mother. What is this? She used to work as a prostitute, thus she cannot be a mother. Yes? Yes, correct. Very good, everyone. The answer is ad hominem. Her job is not considered as like a basis or a qualification to be a good mother, right? Her motherhood was attacked because of her previous job. So it doesn't mean that she was a prostitute before, then he cannot be a good mother. So that's very illogical thinking. We can't just attack the person because of their previous job or their life experiences. So that's very a wrong kind of thinking. So that's ad hominem. Very good, everyone. Okay, next is she sat beside a woman itching a while ago. Does she had skin allergies? My God, these allergies. Unsa may answer ni guys? She sat beside a woman itching a while ago. Does she had skin allergies? Okay, some are they have here either reasoning, they have false analogy, some are ad hominem, other either a reasoning. Okay, some are faulty cause and effect. Okay, na-divide ang all. Have different answers here. Okay, yes? Okay, ad hominem. Kung ad hominem ba ni siya, guys, kay nakita ba nato diri na kuan siya, kanang kagiron man ni siya. So, dapat kanang nangati lang siya. So, ibig sabihin, kagiron siya. It doesn't, ano ba na siya? Ad hominem ba na siya? Na ba siya yung murag sense of ad hominem here? Wala. So, X na si ad hominem dere. Because we are not attacking her based on her skin allergies. We are just like observing her, like the reason why she had their itchiness a while ago. So, ad hominem is not the correct answer. So, either or reasoning. What do you think? It's either reasoning. Is it like limited to two options? Is there like two options or two comparisons here with these statements? She sat beside a woman itching a while ago that she had skin allergies. No, it's not either or reasoning. Okay? So, Mr. Felix Balani, Sir Felix, can you explain them what is the correct answer for this statement?
Okay, sure. Good afternoon, class. The premise is she sat beside a woman itching a while ago. Thus, she had skin allergies. The correct answer for this class is tan 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 tan. It's faulty cause and effect. Okay, let us try to dissect the premise. We have here she sat beside a woman. This is the cause. While the effect, that's why she had skin allergies. Remember, we have the signal word thus. Thus is usually interpreted as in effect or in this connection. Okay. And sitting beside a woman itching a while ago, is this scientifically proven to cause skin allergies? The answer is no. Why? Basin nakalimot lang gligo si auntie no, nakalimot lang siya gligo tung pagkabuntag or yes, reasons like that. So the correct answer for this is faulty cause and effect.
Okay, yes. So the correct answer, thank you so much for that, Sir Felix. So that fallacy falls to faulty cause and effect because they assume that one event causes another. So the occurrence of such an event might be a reason for randomness or everything is just coincidence. So you can't blame the other person of the reasons why she had his itchiness. So we can just jump into conclusion that she has skin allergies, right? So that's faulty cause and effect. Next, yes, we have you are a supporter of the Republic. If you believe the president otherwise, you are becoming unrealistic. Okay, so what's the answer here? You are a supporter of the Republic. If you believe the president otherwise, you are becoming unnationalistic. Okay. Yes, very good. The correct answer here is either or reasoning because it doesn't recognize the complexity of the idea. They only stick with two options. If you're a supporter of the republic doesn't mean that if you are a supporter of a republic, you would be uh, otherwise, you are considered as unnationalistic. It's limited with two options and would conclude such a thing. So this is, for example, this is an example of either or reasoning. Nag-iikot lang ang ating, for example here, di ba? Nag-iikot lang tayo sa dalawang options and it does not recognize any complexity at all. So that's either or reasoning. Okay, we have here, abortion is illegal because it breaks the law of society and nature. Again, abortion is illegal because it breaks the law of society and nature. What's the answer for this, guys? Yes? Abortion is illegal because it breaks the law of society and nature. Okay? Yes? Mm-hmm. Abortion is illegal because it breaks the law of society and nature. All right? Okay. More. Sige pa, more pa. I can't see the correct answer yet. Okay, again, abortion is illegal. Kung hasty generalization ba siya kay naa ba siya ikuan kanang like a small piece of um setting and then it represents the entirety. Kung hasty generalization ba siya, dili, 'di ba? Tapos kung false analogy siya, is there any like comparison between the two or anything for this statement? Why? Abortion is illegal ngano man. Unsay reason nganong illegal man ang abortion? Tas ang excuse dire kay it breaks the law. It breaks the law why? Abortion it breaks the law. Why does it breaks the law? Because it's illegal. And then why it is illegal? Right, very good. The answer is circular reasoning. It states the very thesis at its proof. Supporting details are merely rephrasing the statement. Okay, abortion is illegal. Nagtuyok-tuyok lang ang iyahang explanation. Ang iyang explanation because it breaks the law. Nga nag-break man siya og law because it's illegal. So the reason is just like the same cycle. So it does not support any details at all. So that's circular reasoning. Okay, next. Because my cousin was not happy with the course she took at X university, I think my life would be also miserable if I choose to attend the college there. Okay, yes, class. What's the answer for this? Because my cousin was not happy with the course she took at X university, I think my life would also be miserable if I choose to attend college there. Unsa man na siya? Ay, dili ko moskwela dira, uy, kaya ako igago, kay murag miserable kayang kinabuhi dira. Kung sa ko moskwela ko dira, murag same lang pud may tabo. Nga na, sa may answer ane. Yes, very good. Hasty generalization, a piece of negative event that impacts the entire group. So when one makes a hasty generalization, they are making a conclusion because of just such event, and it doesn't mean that we can jump into that conclusion based on somebody else's experiences. So that's hasty generalization, correct? Thank you so much, everyone. Very good. Okay, thank you everyone. Now we can move to our next topic, which is the main idea and supporting details. I guess you all guys understand what are these fallacy. So, very good, everyone. Virtual round of applause for everyone. Okay, send your emoji clap in our chat box. Yes? A round of applause for everyone. Thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone, for your participation. Okay, now let's proceed and let's move to our next topic, which is the main idea and supporting details in paragraph. Here, so, what's the relevance of this? Okay, paragraphs should provide structure and flow to your text, so they allow you to move from one thought to another. So that is why we need to have a good or a smooth transition of our paragraph. So when you start a new paragraph, you are telling your reader that the topic is over and you are moving on without this structure. So you have to make sure that the structure of your paragraph follows a certain flow that would make sure that your details are in a correct order or in a logical manner. So here, we need to make sure in our main idea, you can provide your main point or central idea in the paragraph. We need to make sure where is here, where would be the main idea in a paragraph. Here you can sometimes you can find it in the first sentence of a paragraph. The main idea is sometimes found in the last paragraph, and it's sometimes found nowhere to be found in any sentences. That is why the idea is not always clearly stated. So that is why we need to make sure to read it clearly and understand what is the subject of this paragraph or what is it talking or what is the main discussion here. So it can be implied in other words in the paragraph. That is why you need or you can figure out the main idea by asking yourself, what is the most important idea in the paragraph? So you can really find or you can identify the main idea if you can understand what is the most important idea in the paragraph. Okay, so that's for the main idea. In our topic sentence, you can see here states the main idea found in the beginning, middle, or end of the paragraph. So it is just stating here the main idea. So on the other hand, topic sentence must, they are already highlighting here in the sentence the main idea. So it's just like they are very connected with each other, then letting the reader know that what would be the paragraph will be all about. So the topic sentence must present an idea that will unify the rest of the paragraph
Ang
while
layo man ang pa.
relating back to the main thesis or argument of the piece. Yes, Francis? Okay, yes. Thank you so much. Yes, for the last one, supporting ideas and details, it elaborates, supports, or explains the main idea of the paragraph. So, lastly, it also called the body of the paragraph and also used to support, explain, illustrate. So here you can see why was the main idea important. So here you can support your details, you can expand, you can illustrate the main idea and our supporting details so that you can fully understand or your readers can gain understanding of your what would be this subject or what would be the things that we might need to know about the main idea. So here lies your supporting details and additional information about your subject. Okay, for example, here, this is an example of a paragraph with the main idea and the supporting details. You can recognize here the underlined words that the supporting details, and then the bolded one, that's the highlighted by the topic sentences, which is the main idea. And lastly, in your body of your paragraph, the supporting details of the main idea. So here you can see a theoretical companies are always coming up with new ways to foster camaraderie among their employees. And then a rhetorical production is helpful and educational as a theme. So it is where it highlights the main idea activity because it involves a lot of people coming together for a single goal. Why? And then why? Then it explains here in the underlined sentences the supporting details to prove or to support the main idea. Okay. Now, for the structure of text, of course, we have the body, introduction, the body, and conclusion. So we all know the basics in writing an essay, so it should have these three. We all know the drill whenever we write a paragraph, so it shall always have an intro, a body, and a conclusion. So in introduction, you have to state your thesis statement. You just have to provide clear and concise information that is needed and just the relevant points, specifically your thesis statement. And in the body, it develops the thesis statement. This is where you develop your thesis statement presented clearly and in detailed manner. So you narrow or highlight specific and relevant information about your main topic. And lastly, the conclusion. And finally, in the conclusion, the thesis is usually restated here in our conclusion. So you should have be able to wrap up everything, the entire discussion of your paragraph. So here you can provide here the recitation or your final say in your paper in a concise way. Okay, so that's for the structure of a text. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Do you have questions, clarifications, or any violent reactions?
None po, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate your participation. So before we call it a day, let's call Miss our pretty ma'am, Ma'am Amy. Yes.
Mhm. Thank you, teacher. Teacher Dan, thank you very much. Now, before we proceed, before I'll end this class, I will present you po yung, before we start, okay? Na-receive niyo po yung essay sa Quipper?
Yes,
Yung
ma'am, sa
Yes po.
essay?
message.